Okay, so recently Wuthering Waves has been doing absolutely amazingly with version 2.0, and a lot of people have been very happy with it. Obviously, I went through a couple of things where like some people needed some change, but overall globally it's been a very well received update. And well, it gets even better with the amount of collabs and amount of companies wanting to work with Wuthering Waves due to their success. And well, I'm pretty sure I just found one of the biggest collaborations that Wuthering Waves is actually doing at the moment, and it's been kind of like swept under the rug and not really talked about. Usually whenever Wuthering Waves does a collab or does something really big with another company, they put it all over their pages, whether it's on the Korean page, the Japanese page, or even on the official page. But this time they've kept it kind of quiet and we haven't seen anything. This might be due to what kind of collaboration it is, but I wanted to go through this, talk about why it's so big and why people should be excited that this collaboration is happening. But before I get into this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you guys do enjoy it, and also go to Game Services, my code Kazo, get 10% off a ton of cups and tubs. I definitely recommend going over there. Again, they've got a ton of really cool events on at the moment, so I definitely recommend checking it out. It'll be down in the link in the description down below, and yeah, you can get 10% off. But let's get back into the video. So this was a post I saw on r/Wuthering Waves saying, I saw this ad on the new Galaxy S25 series. Now, if you don't know, Samsung, you know, it's their kind of flagship phones. I actually have one of them. I've got the S24 right here, but pretty much they have the S25, the new phones coming out very soon, and well, they're actually featuring Wuthering Waves on it. As you can see here in the picture, we got a picture of Jian on the phone, and they say planning to buy a new phone. I was just checking the Samsung series. Seeing this ad, it feels like a calling to me. It's an advertisement for processor Snapdragon 8 Elite. So again, that's really great. And obviously we've seen in the past, Wuthering Waves have actually teamed up with some other mobile companies and stuff like that, and they've teamed up with Snapdragon, which I think is the main reason why they have been featured on the Samsung page. Now obviously if I go over to the official page right here and you scroll down right to the bottom almost, where it talks about the Snapdragon actual chip here we go, you can see that they have this like whole little thing going on where they show you putting the chip in, and then we've got the gameplay from Wuthering Waves and then powered by Snapdragon. And then if you keep going down even further, they say, you know, upscale precision, see the difference. And then obviously they have some other stuff to do with Wuthering Waves. Obviously this changes a little bit. You got like the Wuthering Waves logo here. So it seems like they are doing some kind of collaboration between the two. Now, obviously, this is mainly to do with Snapdragon because, you know, Snapdragon have actually been very vocal in how well they like to use Wuthering Waves in kind of, you know, testing a lot of their games. And it seems like a really cool kind of thing for them to do going forwards because, again, being featured on one of the main pages for the Samsung Galaxy S25 is going to be absolutely huge. You know, a lot of people are going to see this. A lot of people are going to wonder what Wuthering Waves is, and maybe Wuthering Waves in the future is going to be featured as one of these things where it's a big test for mobile processors. Because let's be real, there's a lot of processors out there that can't run Wuthering Waves and that can't run a lot of games, and people want to know it runs well. Well, what better game to pick than Wuthering Waves, which has a very high graphics set. Now, obviously, if we go down to some of the comments, obviously some people say like wuwa, at least for me, is the mobile version of Can It Run Crysis 2007 to 2008, just to put a context. So if you don't know, in the past there was this whole thing of like Can It Run Crysis, which was this game, and pretty much if it could run Crysis, then it was a pretty good PC, stuff like that. And I think the Wuthering Waves might actually become that kind of thing for the mobile, which I find extremely hilarious. And obviously a lot of people are also asking like what is the tablet that it'll run well with and what other stuff it runs well with, because again, let's be real, Wuthering Waves has had a not very good start in terms of mobile. I feel like a lot of people weren't happy with the performance, but I feel like it has improved massively. And I feel like, you know, one of the big things that they're advertising here on the S25 and the new chips for Snapdragon is the fact that it can run so well. And hopefully we do see a lot of these newer phones having improved performance so that they can run games like Wuthering Waves. And honestly, I just thought this was a huge collaboration overall, and this is something that Wuthering Waves needs to do a little bit more. And obviously I've been talking on my channel about advertising and how Wuthering Waves can improve it, and this is definitely one of the ways they can improve it going forwards, because this isn't just like a certain area kind of collaboration. For example, we had one with Mum's Touch, we had one with Sushiro, other places like that, which are more Korea and also Japan based and stuff like that. So, you know, only people over there are going to see it. But with, you know, collaborations like Samsung, well, this is actually global because this is the global website. This is actually the UK version of the website, and they're showing the Wuthering Waves advertisement on here as well. So it's not just like specifically locked to a certain region. This is on every single advertisement for the S25, which is going to be really good for promotion and just getting the game's name out there, because that's what Wuthering Waves really need, is to get the game's name out there. Because let's be real, it doesn't have the pulling power of Hoyoverse, it doesn't have the pulling power of Genshin Impact on Honkai Star. You know, usually with a Hoyoverse game, they can just like slap on maybe made by the developers of Genshin Impact, a lot of people will go over there and play it because, again, it was a good game in the past, and a lot of people know what Genshin Impact is. Whereas Wuthering Waves, people aren't so sure, and I think that adding it onto the S25, you know, kind of gives it that little bit of credibility as well, because obviously there's a ton of gacha games out there, and if you've ever played on any kind of emulators and stuff like that, like LD Player, I get a ton of adverts for gacha games which are complete scams. You know, they're completely made by AI, they're completely made by something else, which again, you know, completely fools a lot of people, and some people actually spend money on this because they're stupid enough to actually buy this stuff. Whereas actually partnering with big companies like Samsung gives Wuthering Waves that little bit more credibility, that little bit more of stability in terms of a brand in front of all of these other gacha games, just like Genshin Impact and Honkai Star and Zealous Zone Zero have done with their own stuff. Because let's be real, Hoyoverse have done a very good job at establishing their brand and making them legitimate and partnering up with some really big companies. You know, they're partnering up with Fate, you know, later this year for Honkai Star, which I'm super excited for, and I think that, you know, Wuthering Waves needs to follow in the footsteps of this, and Samsung Galaxy S25 is just the start of this. I feel like in the future we should get some anime collaborations, maybe a collaboration with an anime studio as well. That'd be really cool to see, with like a trailer or even a full-on anime, you know, that would be really cool as well. And obviously, you know, as I said, Genshin Impact has been getting animes and stuff, and well, they're supposed to be getting anime. We haven't actually heard any news on it since it was first announced, but you know, it does kind of give them that kind of established brand because they're working with Ufotable, which is also a brand that people trust. So again, Wuthering Waves needs to do that a little bit more. Now obviously, yeah, as I said, Samsung, really good start, and there are like a couple of other brands that maybe they could partner up with as well. Obviously they could take a look at what Hoyoverse has done and kind of go for similar things like that, but honestly I think this is a really good stepping stone for Wuthering Waves in the future. Now what does this mean for Wuthering Waves in the future? Not really that much. I feel like it just means that they're stepping up a lot of the advertising processes and stuff like that, and I feel like, you know, it's not going to mean that, you know, that they're going to download every single phone with like Wuthering Waves pre-installed. That's not going to happen. And although I've been saying this is a collaboration, I'm not sure if this is an entire collaboration with Samsung. I think it is more of a collaboration with Snapdragon, and then Snapdragon through on Wuthering Waves as well, being like, hey, can you add this to the website too? But I feel like, you know, it is a pretty good start for Wuthering Waves to get their foot in the door and kind of collaborate with more kind of mobile companies like this. We also saw them collaborate with Red Magic a while ago whenever version 2.0 I think was announced, and they had this cool like a little teaser thing with Camellya, which I thought was really cool as well, which is another phone brand, and I think that's something that they need to be doing. They need to be collaborating with a lot of electronic brands, as well as a lot of kind of creative brands, and also some other brands as well. But honestly, overall, I think it is a very good marketing decision from Wuthering Waves. Now obviously, Wuthering Waves version 2.0 has still been killing it, and there's been some really good ratings or reviews out at the moment, and hopefully the S25 can enhance the experience of a lot of people playing this game. I haven't actually tried it on my S24. Maybe it will run. I feel like it will, because I hope it would. It's one of the newest phones out at the moment. Obviously the S25 hasn't released fully yet. You can pre-order it, but yeah, it seems like a lot of people might be buying this phone purely based off Wuthering Waves. Like this person, they said, you know, it feels like a calling to me that Wuthering Waves is featured on this, and a lot of people in the comments as well saying, hey, I might actually run this as well. They say they know what's good, but still glad I can enjoy the game on PlayStation. It's beautiful. I have an S22 Plus, but tempted to get this to finally get off this Exynos processor. Maybe then I'd actually be able to run wuwa. So again, it seems like some people have had some issues. They said I've had the S24 Plus, which the game actually ran terrible, and now I bought a OnePlus 13. So this person actually couldn't run it on the S24. Maybe I'll actually make a whole video talking about my experiences with playing it on the S24. I might actually give it a little bit of a go, but hey, we'll have to wait and see, and I'll probably put that on my more channel if that does actually happen. But yeah, overall, very good from Wuthering Waves. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this. What kind of companies do you think that Wuthering Waves should work with in the future? I feel like Samsung is probably one of the biggest ones they could work with. You know, it's one of the biggest phone brands out there in the entire world. So again, I feel like, you know, you can't really go much higher, but there are also some other cool ones that I do want them to work with. For example, like franchises like Fate, which you know, Honkai Star are working with at the moment. I do want Wuthering Waves to work with them as well. For example, you know, have a little Carlotta skin, maybe. I don't know, maybe. But again, yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys think, what you guys want to see. And yeah, leave a like and subscribe if you guys did enjoy this video. And also give game subs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Link in the description down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.